To thrive, your mental state has to be top notch. Because if the devil messes with you here, because that's where the battlefield is the mind. If the devil messes with you here, he's got you where he wants. So you need to have some anchors for your mental sanity. There are things that have happened to me in this life that threatened my sanity. I thought I would lose my mind. One of them was losing my mother and my sister within 3 weeks of each other. I'm burying both of them in October of 2013. And in my struggle, I turned to God. And God said to me, one of the things that will help you now is to find a name for me. I should find a name for God. So when Abraham was about to kill his son, like Pastor Francina was telling us yesterday, God provided a lamb, a sacrificial lamb. And Abraham called him Jehovah what? Jireh. When Hagar was running from Sarah and her son was dying, and the angel appeared, and he said to her, what are you doing here? And she said, he said, go back. And she said, the God that sees me. And she named him Jehovah El Roy. And God said, find a name for me. So I began to think, and the best thing I could celebrate with my God was my sanity. And I wanted to call him my own name in Hebrew. I didn't want to call him in English. So I called a friend who lives in Israel. And I said to her, how do you say this in Hebrew? And she said, Christie, do you know when I went to my Jewish friends and asked them how to say that, they said to me, oh, that's part of our daily prayer as Jews. And she said to me, they said, what you want to say is Jehovah Hushoma El Shefayuti. And I said, okay. And do you know what that means? Jehovah, the maintainer of my sanity. That's my name for Jehovah. Whenever I am threatened, I call him that name and it just anchors me. It settles me because it's come from the place of my journey with him. That's why I said, enjoy the journey. Please look for your name for God. You'll be amazed what that name will do for you in the seasons when you are threatened. I just call him the maintainer of my sanity. So I want to tell you how I maintain my sanity. Well, when I finish the spiritual exercise, I have to deal with the physical things that are looking at me. So there are 4 horsemen. There are 4 horsemen in Revelation, and there are 4 horsemen for mental balance. Maintaining your sanity. Number 1, indifference. Very small things, but they make a world of difference. Indifference. What is indifference? It's a lack of interest or lack of concern. So you have a spouse that is sandpaper, rubbing you raw all the time. Like I said, the reason why Satan knows how to deal with you is that you're so predictable. I want you to develop the art of indifference. Know when to show a lack of interest in some things. You know that this person is always shouting. Then when they start shouting, you say, why are you shouting? Is that not a waste of saliva and energy? He will shout. Even when he's playing, he's shouting. Not to talk of when he's angry or when she's angry. Why will you be spending your energy saying, hey? So learn the art of indifference. It will give you mental balance. It's also called mind your business. Yes, there's many things that is not our business. We'll go and shook our mouth inside. And when you have shook your mouth inside, trouble will come. Then you say, hey, who sent me? Have you not asked yourself that kind of question before? Who sent me? You share your chef. Second horseman of mental balance is detachment. To hold yourself aloof. Our mothers were good at that. When we're throwing tantrums, they will just sit down and be looking at. In fact, they won't even be looking at you. Then when we're tired of throwing the tantrum over there and they're not looking at us, he will now come closer to mommy. Mommy. As you are touching her, she will move her legs to the other side. Mommy, what is it? I have not told me, sorry. Learn to do that with the devil. Pa Kenneth Hagin was sleeping in his house, and a storm just came and was scattering his whole house. He opened his eyes. There was no storm outside, only inside. Then the Lord opened his eyes and he saw the devil. He said, "Oh, is you? Wait, let me wake up from this sleep. You still be here. You see what I'll do to you." And he went back to sleep. If it's some of you, the devil is an attention seeker. And you are just giving him the attention he's looking for. Some of us are living with narcissistic spouses who thrive on attention. You need to learn this aloofness. You need to learn. Aloofness is not just maintaining a distance. It's also schooling your features. So nobody knows what you are thinking. Today I was looking at mommy's face when one of the moderators said, "I'm going to be cheeky and I'm going to ask one more question even though I know time is up." I watched mommy's face. She didn't change her expression. But the person that said what they said now said, "Mommy." Because mommy's face, even though she did not change it, the person knew, after now, you know yourself. So the person started issuing a plea before we finish the program. "Mommy." I said, you know. No change in the face. "Mommy, am I right?" "Yeah." She's laughing. I saw it. When I heard that "mommy," I said, this person is the mama. Where? Learn it. Don't be so predictable. Everybody knows where to poke you and you burst or deflate like a balloon. Don't do that to yourself. Change the game. Change it. And you can. This brain is a retrainable organ. It's one of the mercies of God. Every habit you have is a product of training the brain. And so if you don't like it, if you don't like the way you've been reacting, how you've been falling into the hands of the devil, change, retrain the brain. If somebody was right-handed and they have an accident and lose the right hand, after a while they become left-handed. It's not because they are very smart. It's because the brain is a retrainable organ. Retrain the brain. When we first got married, had a quarrel one day. My husband said, "If you're tired of the marriage, pack your things and get out." I went and laid on the bed. I was crying. This man don't see me finish, to the point he's telling me if I'm tired, I should pack my things. "You don't love me anymore." The man was reading his newspaper beside me on the bed, and I was crying. I said, "Hey." I went and learned. So the next time something happened again, "Hey, if the kitchen is, if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen." I said, "You think I'll cry again?" I said, "You see this face? You are stuck with this face. In your bedroom, in your kitchen, in your toilet, in your car, in your parlor. You are stuck with me. I'm not going to cry. I've turned to stockfish. Nothing they choke me." The man just started laughing. The quarrel ended. Because he suddenly realized she ain't crying no more. I can't get her there anymore. Number 3. Disengagement. You know, that's one of the hardest things for us to do. We're so used to engaging the fight. Even when there's no reason to fight, we're fighting. We don't know how to choose our battles. Everything that comes, you are fighting. I married my husband and he has 9 siblings. There are 10 of them. Unfortunately for me, he's only the last one that I'm older than. The first 9, they are all older than me. So they were not only doing me in-law, they were doing me senior. They come to my house, they look at everything in my house. See my brother's house. See my brother's car. Even the ones I bought, they'll call it their brother's own. And I'll be getting angry in my belly. What is wrong with these people? Are they trying to say that I did not make any investments in this house myself? One day God said to me, "What's your problem? Why are you losing your peace over statements of fact?" I said, "Lord, what do you mean?" He said, "Is your husband their brother? Is this his house? Are the things in the house his own? Why are you losing your cool over statements of fact? They are just making statements of fact. See my brother's house. Why is that biting you?" Then I realized, hey, it's stupidity on my part. So whenever they say it, I will say in my language, what I'm saying in my heart is, who is arguing with you? It's your brother's house. They love meat in their family, meat. My children don't start talking with the word mama or da. It's meat. I'm not joking. Meat. They don't have teeth, but they are eating meat. I'm not joking. They are here. They fall asleep with the meat in the mouth. You can't collect it. It's a family thing. So when they come to visit me, they'll go into the kitchen and every single piece of meat in that stew or soup is gone. They'll eat everything. I want to quarrel. God said, Holy Spirit is a good companion. Don't say a word. I said, what do I do? He said, cook another one and put in the food. Because others haven't eaten. It continued for years. One day I asked God, I said, this quiet way they tell me to quiet all the time. How long? I'm tired. He said, okay, today, because you have obeyed me for all these years, I'll give you the strategy. When your husband comes back from work today, put his food without meat. He's not a wife beater, but on this count, I can be beaten. Put his meat with the food without meat. How? He said, you asked me for solution. So I put the food there. Then I went and stood at the door. When he was ready to eat. He was looking at me funny because usually when he's eating, I sit there. Even if I've eaten. So I was standing. So he looked at me. I saw the confusion on his face, but he didn't say anything. Then he opened the... I just said, what's the meaning of this nonsense? I said, you know there are many people in the house. You don't have to say your sisters are in the house. That's why you lose your battles. I said, you know there are many people in the house. So what's that supposed to mean? Are you not the one that served them food? How can there be no meat? I said, no, I'm not the one who served them. He said, so you mean they went into the kitchen and they knew that other people have not eaten and they took all the meat? What kind of selfish people are these? Go and call them. I said, call who? Me. Go and call. I just ran into the bedroom, closed the door. I just heard him shouting, all of you come out here. Plus the ones older, plus the ones younger. Come out here, all of you. What kind of selfish people are you? How can you finish all the meat in the soup? Don't you know that other people have not eaten? From today, inside my room, I said, Nobody should go into my wife's kitchen anymore. Hey! The Igbos have one song. Omechilo dumonum, no. Omechilo dumonum, no. He said he has shut the mouth of the lion inside the den. That's the song I started singing. Can they go to their village and say, I drove them from the kitchen? Who drove them? Their brother. It's their brother. You pick your battles. You fight them with wisdom. You will get what you want without ruffling your own feathers. One time they came to visit. One of the sisters said to me, hey, Christie, don't you know that they stopped our salary since how many months? Cannot even tell your husband to give me money. Since he married you, he has not been calling me. So I asked the Holy Spirit, should I talk? He said, talk. He has been holding me since then. He now said, talk. I said, Jesus, thank you. I said, Auntie, do you have phone? She was looking at me. Do you have phone? She said, no. I said, how is he supposed to be calling you? Why are you blaming me? She said, it's only what you tell your husband to do. That's all he does. He's only... I said, Auntie, you are a woman like me. Won't you like your husband? She said, you have carried him and put him here. I said, Auntie, won't you like your own husband to be here? So that's only what you say you do. She said, you this girl, yeah, you're mad. So we laughed and did. Matter finished. As she was leaving on that trip, we had this painting of Jesus and the 12 disciples. My husband's favorite painting in the house. She just came out of the room and said, I've been looking at this painting. I really like it. And she climbed a stool and removed the painting. I was looking at her and she went into the vehicle with it and she was leaving. So my husband came down to see her off. And of course, he immediately noticed the space there empty. And he said to me, what happened to the picture? It fell? It broke? I said, no, it didn't fall. He said, where is it? I said, auntie took it. He said, which auntie? I said, auntie. Who did she ask? Did she ask you? I said, I thought she asked you. He said, what kind of nonsense is this? He just went to the car. Did you remove a paint here? Come down from the car. She came down. Bring it out of the car. Go and put it back. Huh? Nobody touches anything in my house anyhow again. Who put the line? Their brother. When my husband said they can no longer go into my kitchen, it became an opportunity for me to be giving them half meat. But no, I didn't do that. See, because he covered me. He had protected me. So whenever they're coming, I say to him, I need extra money. He'll say, for what? I say, for meat. I made up my mind. They will never finish the meat I put on any table meal. And that's what happened. Anything called meat, when they sit on my table, I have a huge platter. It's there. Bush meat, cow leg, cow tail, snail, fresh fish, dry fish, beef, chicken, goat. One day his sister ate meat. I said, Ekisi. That's the Benin version of my name. Ekisi. You go take meat, keep person. I said to her, auntie, now your brother money, chop am. And the final one is strategic withdrawal. To withdraw strategically from a conversation, from an argument, from a fight, from a state of mind, from a confrontation. Strategic withdrawal. Sometimes it's just keeping silent. Sometimes it's you take a deep breath to say something and you swallow the breath back. It's strategic, but it's a withdrawal. Those are the 4 horsemen of balance.